Crafters. In tonight's video, we're going to be making another Halloween card using Them Bones Sweet. And we're going to have a pop-up in the inside of the card for a surprise. Hi, I'm Joan Heberlein, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I created this video for Joan Simple Papercrafts, found right here on YouTube. If you're new here, I'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. And if you're a returning guest, welcome back. Be sure to subscribe by clicking the subscribe button below. That way you won't miss when I post a video, which is typically once a week. Now give me a few seconds to turn the camera down and we'll get started. So here's a card we're going to make tonight. And as you can see, inside we got a pop-up. And it says, "Eat, shriek, and be scary." And what we need to make that card is a bag of bones. We need this, no bones about it. You're a sweet friend. And eat, shriek, and be scary. The next we need is our bag of bone dies. We're going to need both of these and the picket fences. And this is grass. And then we've got a helmet here, which is a cowboy hat, not a helmet, and some cowboy boots. And we need this skeleton. And we'll need our bats here. The rest I don't think we need. I'll just set it aside in case we need to get access to that. Let's see. First we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of basic gray cardstock. This is 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And I have it scored at 5 1/2 inches. And I'm just going to fold and burnish that. And I'm going to burnish it on both sides because I like to get a nice crisp edge. And we'll just set that aside. Next we need is a piece of basic white cardstock. And this is cut at 4 inches by 10 3/4 inches. And I'm just going to verify that length because if I didn't cut it off, that would throw us off. So this is our trimmer here. And we have this arm on here that allows us to get up to 17 inches, 17 1/4 inches actually, or 43 centimeters, almost 44 centimeters. And then we have 3 tracks on here. This is the scoring blade. This is the cutting track or the trimming blade. And this one is another trimming blade that I put on there. And it is duller than this one here, so that if I'm using glitter, it's not going to damage this blade. We want to measure our cardstock. We need 4 inches by 10 3/4 inches. So let's just see if we got 4 inches here. That's 4 inches wide. And then we're going to measure whether it is 10 3/4, and that is 10 3/4 there. And then we also need to mark the scoring position, and that's going to be at 5 3/8 or 13.7 centimeters. And that's where that would be. But I am not going to score it right now because we're going to do some coloring of this paper. And let me get some paper out to put underneath. And I'm just going to put these aside. We're going to use them next, but first we want to get this done up here first. So we're going to take our smoky slate and we're going to use our blending brushes for the bottom half of the card. So I did pencil mark right here. Do like an oval right down around here. Leave that in white. So that'll be where we could have them write their personal sentiment. And I'm going to just start off the card and start going around. And it's going to take a while to build this up. I'm just going to keep going in a little bit at a time. See, now I'm starting to see it there. And I'm going to go on the other side. And actually, I'm going to just flip it here. Just got to remember we were working on the bottom half. What we're trying to do is make the bottom half. Okay, so I think we're done about as much as we want to do here. And then we want to do the top half. And I'm going to do all of this in gray. And then we're going to go in and we're going to add the starry sky and pumpkin pie. So now I'm going to go and use our pumpkin spice. I'm just going to set this aside. We may need to use some more of that. I'm going to do the pumpkin spice or pumpkin pie. And I'm going to do some more of our smoky slate on the top part here. I just want to see how close we are to what we've got. That's getting close. And then I'm going to go and start from the starry sky. And I am just going to rub this off from here. And we'll just start with the starry sky. I think that's probably good. Yeah, that looks good. Gives you different colors in there. And I'm just going to close these up. And I'm going to take time to just clean this out right now. I'm going to take it to our sink and rinse it out. I'm just going to see how clean these are. And there's nothing coming off. This one is stained, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that comes out clean too. So I'm just going to put those away. And we're going to set this to dry. What we need to do next is die cut. And we have to do 2 black die cuts of the picket fences and 1 basic gray of the picket fence. And I'm going to die cut the basic gray for you. And then we also need to do a basic gray of the small tombstone. And we need 2 of these. So I'll do 1 of those as well. And I am going to show you how to do this die cut. So how we're going to do this is we're going to use this pattern here. We're going to use a number 1 plate first, then a number 2 plate, then the paper, then the die, and then the second number 2 plate. So there's the number 1, and then this is the number 2. Then we'll use our die, and we're going to use this one right here. And I'm going to use this tape right here. That's our Post-it tape, and it's very sticky, but it doesn't tear. So we can reuse it. And then we're going to put this one on. And as you notice, I had them putting them on individually, so I don't have them overlapping. And that works best because the rollers will distribute the weight along this way. So we don't want to have overlapping dies within that same spot here. So we will crank this out here. Having trouble cranking it sideways. I think I'll have to stand up next time when I do that. So now we have all of these small tombstones done. And then we have 2 of our black fences, and here's our light fence. In this one, I'm going to have to poke through here. There is waste through there. I'm just poking it out into my hand. And then there's little poke spots right through here. And that will release the paper. So there's our 3rd picket fence. And the next piece is our skeleton. We needed 2 of these. I've already cut 1. And then we have another one. And I'm going to set it on there. And I'm going to turn it this way a little bit. I hope you can see that. And I'm just getting it so there's just enough gray all the way around his body. And I just want to pop my head in there and make sure I've got it down right. That seems to be fine. And I'm going to put my tape on there again. I'm looking for the other plate. Here it is. And we're just going to crank that through. And I'm going to take this paper out because we won't need this paper anymore. That's what we did with the blending brushes. Bring this back up here. And we got 2 of our skeletons done. Then we need to do our large tombstone. And that's great, just like that. And our large tombstone, I already got one done. And then we'll just do the second one. And I'm going to put that on here again. So we got the 1, the 2, the large paper, and then the large die. And then we'll put the second plate on. And we'll crank that through. And I am going to bring it out and make sure I've got it on there centered. And I'm going to tape this down because there's not a lot of wiggle room at the top part. So I want to make sure that I don't go off there or on this side either. There's our second one of those. Then we need to put on our occasion craze. We've got our boots and our hats. So we'll do those, and I'm going to do them that way rather than side by side. Here they are. And those will go with the skeleton, so I'll put those over here. And next we need to do is our grass. So I did one grass already. So this is the grass here. So that's, I believe, is the background grass. And then I'm going to do one more of the background grass. And what I want to do is I want to take this piece of cardstock, which is cut at 7/8 of an inch wide here. And I want to make the top of the grass here come right to this edge here. And I'm going to put this back in here. And I'm going to tape that in place there. And then we'll trim that down once we're done here. Okay. I have the dimensions for all these pieces of cardstock, and I'll include them in the comment section below once we're done with the video. So I'm just going to pull this off from here. You can see the paper stops right about there where it's cutting, and I'm just going to trim that right there. And then we're going to trim this part off here. I didn't quite get that there. And then we'll trim it at this edge too. Okay, so that's our background grass along with these black picket fences. And then we need to do foreground grass. And that needed to be done on 1 1/8 inch wide cardstock. And it's 4 inches long. This is actually longer than 4 inches. We'll trim off the excess. And what we want to do is we want to score that at 1/2 inch right here. And I've already scored it. You can see there's a score mark there. And I'm actually going to fold and burnish that right now. And then we'll flatten it again to do the cardstock. Because I want that fold to work hard for me here. That's going to help keep our 2 pieces of paper divided, I guess. So that's our white piece of paper. And this is actually going to go, I don't know where my white piece is. It's going to go right about here. And then we have our front piece of grass here. And it's going to be in black because it's at nighttime. So, okay, let me go back there. So let's put this back together again. That's our number 1 plate and number 2 plate. So when we cut this, we're going to go continuously. We'll be piecing it continuously along edge up here. and I need to make sure I got it on the right way. I'm going to do that one right there. And I need to have that go through that way. So I didn't want it to get pinched off through the rollers. I wanted it to be able to go through. Okay, so we've got that done, but we need to do the next piece and have it be continuous from here. So I'm going to just take this and I'm going to go from here forward. And I need to start it right about here. So then, now we've got two pieces that have been cut. And we have one more to do. Right here again. So I overlapped the last end from one piece to the next. So what this should be, you can take this all off from here. Okay. And I'm just getting some of the sticky tape off up here. So what I'm going to do before I go any further, I'm going to take my adhesive eraser and just kind of clean that up a little bit more. Sorry for my reach. Okay. And then we got to put this back on our fold. There's our fold right there. So we have that folded there. Now there's going to be a piece cut out 1 inch right in here. So let's center this, find the center of this piece here. I think I'm done with this. Oh, let's finish a couple more pieces before we do that. I'm going to set that aside. So what we're going to do is our circle deckled die. And that is from here. We want to take our second smallest deckled circle. And we're going to put this on here and we're going to just die cut it. And I'm not going to tape it down because if it shifts a little bit, we should be fine. Okay, that one's done. And the next piece we want is our deckled rectangle die. So we're going to take this one and we're going to use our smallest and our second smallest for this. So let's go through with our smallest first. And we'll just do that like that. We don't need to tape that piece. We'll do that. And we're just going to take this out of here because we're going to do some stamping before we go any farther with these two. So we want to take our 2 sentiments. We've got our Eat, Shriek, and Be Scary. That's going to be from this round one. And we're going to use our Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Sorry if my head got in the way. There's that one. And I'm just going to put that up here. And this one, we're going to stamp this. And I just want to get a piece of paper underneath that because it could go off the page and then we'll just have to flip it over if it does. I want to get this as high as I can. Sorry about my head. You know what? I cannot see it on that page. I'm going to do it on this because I'm not using this side of the cardstock. I'm using the other side. So I think that'll work better. There. And then we're going to go back and I'm going to close off my ink. So I think that looks just fine like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the die cutting machine again. This is our mini cut and emboss. And I'm going to bring back the plates. So we've got our number 1, the number 2. Then we're going to bring in our paper. Then we're going to center this over that and make sure that we've got that cutting just right. And I'm thinking that's about it. I think that's about centered there. If it's off a little bit, no problem. It should be scary anyways, right? And now I'm, oh no, not quite. Thought I was done. We got to do our bats yet. So let's get this taken out of here. So let's do our bat right here. There's one. And I'm just going to poke those through. And then we'll do the other one. Because it said to do 5 or 6 bats, so let's do that. All right, I'm closing this up. We need to clean our stamps. We've got this one, and I don't even know where the other one is. This one right here. And I'm just going to spray this. I didn't want to get it onto these, that's why I held it up. So this has a raindrop here. That means this is the side that we want to put moisture on, and then this is the side we're going to dry it on. And then you just rub it here. And I should have used paper to dry the excess ink off from here, but there really wasn't that much on there, so I think we're okay with a little bit there. That keeps your Stampin' Scrub a lot cleaner by using the paper first. Okay, so now that we have all these pieces done, let's bring back our basic white. So this is the piece that we did, this is the bottom piece, and this is the top piece. And what we want to do is we want to score that in the middle. Let me get my trimmer out. The trimmer will score it at 5 3/8 or 13.7 centimeters. So that's 1, 2, 3/8 right there. And we're just going to score it. And then we'll fold that inward because this is the inside of the card. This is the inside piece of cardstock. And we're going to fold and burnish that. I'm going to use it on both sides. We're going to take our T-square just to keep us straight, and we want to measure up 1.5 inches from the edge here. 1.5 inches there, and then we're going to go over an inch. That leaves 1.5 inches from that side. Then we're going to take this, and then we're going to measure 1/2 of an inch. So this is 1/2 inch here, and that's going to be what is my 1/2 inch? 1.3 centimeters. And so let's do that from here. 3 centimeters. Well, let's get it on the line here. That's okay that we have that extra line there because that's inside the card. It's not outside the cards. Right, there's 1.3. And then we're going to trim those right to this position here. And I am going to put a T mark on there so that I know where to stop on both of these because they're just a slightly hair different. Okay, so we're going to clip this one here. We'll clip this one here. Then we're going to fold this piece right here inward. And I'm going to just fold it right there. And I'm going to fold it back. And fold it, burnish it. Then we're folding it back down. And then we're going to pop it through here. So I'm going to pop it up that way. And then we'll fold it in. And we'll burnish these again. So we've got all the things burnished now. This is the bottom of the card. And this is where I want to mark where this is going to go through. We need to center that. And I'm going to go right about there. I'll take this piece right, and I'm going to take it right up to the fold line. So perpendicular to that fold line where we scored it. And then we're going to just cut that off. There. So that is going to be right there. Very tight. It's good. That's good. I'm actually going to loosen it just a little bit. I'll make it at an angle like this. So that's what I cut it off, a sliver on each side. There. That's going to work. Then let's assemble our cards. So we're going to put this dark medium size tombstone onto the large tombstone. And we'll do that for both of them. This one. I'm going to get my silicone mat out before I end up making a mistake here and having glue all over our card base, and then things won't work right because the glue will, if you get glue in the wrong spots, it won't pop up right. Okay, we've got that, and then we're going to put these on the back here. So we're going to do that. Let's see, I'm going to see which way I want to do this. They need to be that way. That's the top. Okay. And we want to put this on the bottom. I'm sorry I did that. Didn't mean to do that. I want to glue that right about there. And I'm going to go out here a little ways. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to take it out from here. So like that. And I will do that right here. And let's do the other side. And I know I'm making a mess of this mat, but that's why we have the mat, right? So let's see if we can't get this down here, about the same positioning. There. Let's see, that didn't stay. So let's get it back in the same spot. I had to put the glue higher up on there. Now hopefully they'll lift up. And then we'll glue I'm going to glue that right there. And then let's glue this side over here. I'm going to glue the bottom of this. Hoping I'm not doing it prematurely, but if I have to, I can always heat it up and pull it off. So let's see if we get that on there right. I'm raising this up a little bit because it's not quite on the right spot when I folded it over. So let's see if I got it now. Okay, now let's fold that down. So we need to put our skeleton on here. And I'm gonna move that over here a little bit. And I'm not going to have glue on his elbow because that's going to be sticking out. And I don't want to have glue binding up the mechanism. So let's see where we got that. We went this way. Then we did the eat, shriek, and be scary. And that is all done flat. And then this needs to be put on there. I need to lift this up here. So that's on the outside of the grass. And then we'll do the grass on the inside. And we'll do this. Okay. So that is right there. This needs to be lifted up. I want that to be equal distance there. And then we're going to fold this over. That works there. Okay. I'm going to go wash my hands because I got so much glue on them. I don't want to mess things up. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to trim this. So we need to, I'm going to fold this down right here. So I'm going to trim this piece right here along the edge, flush with the cardstock. And then I'm going to trim that. And I'm just going to let a little bit hang out, that little bit. So if I flip it over, you see there's a little bit of black there. And I'll do the same thing on this side, a little bit of the black there. And then this is going to be flush with the cardstock. Okay. I don't know if that needs to, that's good. I didn't know if that foot needed to be anchored differently, but it looks fine. Okay, so now we're going to take our piece of basic gray that we cut, and we're going to install this onto here. So let's go ahead and we're going to use our Tear and Tape Plus, or our Seal Plus. So I want the part that goes down first. So this is the down area. I'll flip that over. Take my glasses off so I can see. And then we'll just go one right there. Okay, so that's going to go inside the card first. And let's take that off from there. And we want to put it in so it's 1/8 of an inch from each edge here, but butt it right up to the fold line. Just this hair side of the fold line. And then the inside of the card is 1/8 of an inch. There we go. And I'm going to do and I'm going to burnish it again, both sides. Now if we try it, it should come up. And I'm actually holding the top part because that's not glued yet, but that works. So now let's take our glue, our Seal Plus, and we'll get that on there. Okay, and so what we do here is we just fold it shut. So we just want to make sure we got the pieces lined up in the inside. And we fold it shut. Okay, there we go. And I am just going to use my adhesive eraser because it feels like there's some tackiness there. And I don't know if I got anything tacky here. Nope, that seems to be fine. Let's try it again. Nope, the tackiness is gone. And I'm not going to put on the inside bats yet. We'll wait till we're all done. Let's do the outside of the card. We need to put this on, leaving 1/8 of an inch. So that is our designer series paper taken from Them Bones designer series paper. And there's just a lot of different sizes of tombstones on there. I thought that worked real well with the tombstones on the inside of the card and on the outside of the card. And then we're going to do 1/8 of an inch here. Okay, and I'm going to just use my bone folder to squeeze out the air bubbles. And there was some glue there. I'm just going to use this adhesive to make sure that not any extra. It's an eraser. Sorry, my head was in the way. We've already glued this one down, so we want to glue the boots onto this. So let's see, we've got our boots we need and the hat. So let's do this first. There. And then we'll do this boot. And we'll do his hat next. That was a lot of glue I put on there. That seemed to work. Drying it. Okay, and we'll glue this onto here. See, his foot is sticking out. See if I can't get it. Let me trim it off. That works. And we're going to glue that separately, but we want that slanted and then have that come across the front like that. So let's glue this down. I'm going to go back up into the hat again. All these have glue on them. Then next we want to do is our string. So take about 8 inches, and that's close enough there. We're going to take this piece of baker's twine, and this is crumb cake, and we're going to tie it right over left and under, and left over right and under. I'm trying not to let the bottom get all twisted, the lasso part, and then we'll just slip that through. Here's our lasso, and we'll get it glued right here. I'm going to put that once I get it glued onto the card front. So here's our card base. We need to put this on here. So we're going to glue that about this bottom half. If you cut it in quarters, it's like the bottom half of that, the top half of the bottom half. And I'm actually going to take another piece here, and we'll just wrap that around this right here. Just like we've got a lasso there too. And we'll butt that right up to the basic gray. And then we're just going to flatten those out here. So I think we got a little bit too much there. And let's get this back over here where we had it going. I'm going to bring this up here. And we can use our dimensionals for that. got black dimensionals we're going to use. And let's see, it might be work best if I use this. My pick is not going in quite as smooth as it used to. I need to get another tip. Okay, so let's put this down here, right about here. Now we can anchor this right here and right here. And I just need to let it dry. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and use it to get the stickiness off from the glue. There we go. And just make sure that it's off from there. And we'll use our dimensionals again to put this on. And then we'll just use glue on this edge. Let's get it a little bit more there. Okay. We need to do our bats yet. And I'm missing one bat here. I use this to hang on to the bat while I put the glue on there. And I can't open this up to show you how I'm putting it on there, but that's what I did there. I'll put this in the center here. We'll do this one next. See if we can't kind of get and one more. Let's do, I think we had some here. Now these are glow-in-the-dark bats, and you're not able to order them right now, but they will be back at the end of September. So mark it on your calendar to order them right away, because I'm pretty sure they will be sold out pretty soon once they're back. I'm trying to see how to put this on here so we can take a picture of this. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Why don't you give it a try? Now, if you enjoyed today's video, would you do me two favors? Click the thumbs up emoji. That means you like it. And would you share it on social media with your crafting friends and pin it to Pinterest? These actions will help me to keep sharing my ideas with other crafters for free, and I'd really appreciate that. Be sure to hit the subscribe button below so you won't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, be sure to contact me. I'm here to help in any way that I can. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to be your demonstrator. Just reach out to me. If you'd like to place a Stampin' Up! Order or would like a catalog, hop over to my website where you'll find the Shop Now button. To shop with me, you'll need to go to joanheberlein.stampinup.net. Mark your calendars. I'll be back next Sunday, September 24th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and we'll be doing one more Halloween card. I hope you'll be here to join me. Thanks so much for being here with me tonight, and I look forward to next time. Bye for now, and don't forget to subscribe.